This is example 3 for normal distribution as there's an error here. Just wanted to clear that up. It says a citrus farmer who grows mandarin oranges finds that the diameter of the mandarin oranges harvested on his farm follow a normal distribution with a mean or average diameter of 5.85 centimeters and a standard deviation of 0.24 centimeters. So that is the length of the diameter of their mandarin oranges. We want to know what the size of the middle 30% of the mandarin oranges from this farm are, how many centimeters there are. So what I'm going to do is, let me just get a new sheet here, or not. Okay, so since I'm doing a normal distribution, it tells me that it's normally distributed and has given me the mean and standard deviation. So I go to graph, probability distribution plot, and I'm going to look at the graph. So I click view probability, click OK. It's a normal distribution with a mean of 5.85 centimeters and a standard deviation of 0.24 centimeters. So you'll put that in and click on options. Now keep in mind, we want to know the middle 30%. So if you have 30% in the very middle of your graph, you have another 70% that has to be spread out on each side. Okay, so those tails are equal. So really we could do it two different ways. I'll just do it with equal tails since that means the right side will be 35% and the left side would be 35%. For a total probability of 70%, that's not the 30% in the middle that we're looking for. So that, I know that's a little confusing. But if you think about it, you need, if we had, I wonder if I have some, I don't have anything to write with, but if you have 30% in the middle, then you have 70% on the outsides here. I'll look at this picture here. So if this is 30% in the middle, then this has to be 35 and 35 if the tails are equal. And if it's in the exact middle, then the tails would be equal. So the probability 70%, which is 0.70. So I'm going to, well, let me tell you this, because the mistake in the original video says that we need 35% on each side because we have 30% in the middle. So we need 70 divided by 2 on each side. And watch what happens if we do that. If we do that, I get this graph, continue without autosave. And if I get that, I get this graph, but this middle is not 30% because I can tell the outsides are 0.175, that's 17.5% and 17.5%. That's only 35% out here. So that means this would be 65% in here, and that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for 30% in here. So what's happened is we need 0.35 and 0.35 out here. So I need to go back to graph and do this again, but instead of putting in the 35% for each side, it's going to divide it by 2 for me if I choose equal tails. Click OK and OK, and now I have 35% out here, 35% out here, that's 70%, which leaves 30% in the middle. So that gives our answers down here. Now be careful because the 30% of the oranges, we need the diameter of them in centimeters. Be careful because there are actually 3 numbers down here. So let me show you what those are. The first number is 5.75. The next number is 5.85. That's actually the one we put in because that's the mean. And the last one is 5.942. So be careful pulling those off and know that they always do list the mean that you put in as well. Remember, we did a mean of 5.85 centimeters. So then these 2 measurements are the answer to the question, which is the middle 30% of the mandarin oranges on this farm range from a 5.75 centimeter diameter to a 5.942 centimeter diameter.